Hello guys, welcome back to channel. This is part 2 of our endless runner game. So you can see my whole scene is empty because in last part I made a mistake as I skipped one part, so we will do that again. So first you have to drag the player inside the hierarchy or scene. So now we will drag the player. Before we drag the player, we have to right click on the hierarchy window, and now we will right click on hierarchy window and you have to create a new empty object. So we'll select create empty and we will rename this as player. So after we rename this as player, we have to reset it and we have to drag player sprite into hierarchy. So now we have dragged player sprite, so we will rename it to player sprite, as we have two players, so we will rename it to player sprite. So now we will drag the player sprite into the player game object. First we will reset the transform component and we will drag the player sprite into player. So you can see the player is parent of player sprite, and now we will resize it as 0.5 and y also 0.5. X and y are both 0.5. Z will remain as 1 only. So now we will add a rigid body 2D component to our player, and now we will maximize it and set gravity scale to 0 as we want to control our player, and we will freeze the Z rotation. So now after that, so we will select the player, and now we need to create a script for a camera movement. So first we will drag our player script into player game object and give a speed as 12. Okay, so now we can hit play and try as it will work successfully. But guys, you can see here it do not work, as here we have a error. There is no rigid body attached to the player. Okay, so to solve that error, we have to cancel the rigid body 2D in player sprite and attach rigid body 2D into the player and set the gravity scale to 0 and freeze the Z rotation. And now if we try, we can see we have completed our player controller successfully. So the player controller is successful. So now we can do camera movement. So to do camera movement, we need to create a new C# script. So I will zoom out as the player will move with camera forward and they will not stop. So we can clear this error simply. And now we can create a new C# script called camera movement. So we will rename it to camera movement, and after we rename it to camera movement, we can open it by clicking open. So now let's open it. So after opening the script, you can get this kind of interface. Now first we will delete the start method as we won't need it for this script. So we will select the start method and hit backspace key and delete it. Now as we have deleted the start method, we will clear the space between update method and public class camera movement. So now we will clear this space also. So now we can hit enter, 2 times enter, and we will create a new public float called camera speed. So we will create public float and camera speed. So this will be a variable that will tell us about the camera speed. So we will give a colon, semicolon, and then it is loading as you can see, and then we can clear 1 colon, and then we can minus the space between camera and speed. So we are good to go. We have made our first variable. We do not need more variable. Now we can write code in update method. So we need to make difference in the position at the camera. So we will write transform dot position plus is equals to new vector 2. No, we can write new vector 3 as, so we will write new vector 3 as we want the difference of 3. So after we write new vector 3, we can give a bracket. So in bracket we will write camera speed times time dot delta time, and then we can end the sentence by giving a colon. So before we give colon, after writing time dot delta time, we can give value of x and y. So you can see we are writing delta time, and after we write time we can give value of only x and y because we have frozen the position of z. So x 0, y also 0. Now we can end the sentence by writing a colon. So we have written a colon. Now you can save by hitting Ctrl plus S, and now we will go back to Unity and attach the script. As you can see, when we go back to Unity, there has a error. So I think there is an error in our script. Yes, I found the error. So the error is that in the position spelling we can see it is double TI. So we will minus 1 TI so it gets spelled correctly, and now we will save it and hit back to Unity. So after we come back, you can see the error is cleared, and now we can attach our script. So we will create an empty game object and we will rename it as game manager, and we will reset its transform component. So we will reset its transform component here. Yes, so we have resetted its transform component. Now we can attach our script to it. So we will attach the camera movement script simply by dragging, and we will give camera speed as 15. Okay, and now we will drag main camera and player into game manager object. So we will drag this, and you can see the main camera is at top. So now we will minimize it, and now we can try and see. So now I will zoom out as the camera will continuously move and not stop. So now I will hit play. So after we hit play, we can see our camera is continuously moving forward. Now our camera movement is successful. Only the part is remaining that looping background, means there are many parts, and next part will come as looping background. So I think this is enough for today's video. If you are new to channel, I consider you to like, share, and then you can click on subscribe, and then click on bell icon to get our latest notification. You can also join our Discord server to post questions regarding programming and game developing. So I think this is enough for today's video. We'll meet in next video. Till then, goodbye.